All right, what up? We are back. I'm sorry, somebody had left some chats, Manish, or I just wanted to let you know that I do have a paid version of TradingView. Your data is delayed because you don't have the CME data. So if you do want real-time data for the TradingView, you do need to pay the data fee, which is an extra fee on top of paying for TradingView itself. So just so you know, if you do want that live futures data, you do have to pay for it. It's not too much money. I think it's like $8 or $9 a month or something. So yeah, so check that out. Obviously, if you buy a combine with any of these prop firms, that's all included in your monthly price. Okay, so anyway, and sorry again, like if you do send me a message, I typically don't have the stream open anywhere. So yeah, I'm never ignoring anybody, put it that way. Like will never ignore anybody. Obviously, unless you're being not very nice, to put it nicely. So yeah, tough day. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put in some loss limits. I've made up my mind that today is a tricky day, and I'm not going to lose more than $100 today. So we're going to go into here, going into our risk limit. Let's put in 100. We're going to do liquidate and block. And yep, that should be good. So we have a $100 loss limit on the day. So as you can see, we would have gotten stopped out below here. It did kind of come up and made one stab below towards the midpoint here. You could see we're playing around through the quarter point of the actual gap. This is all very low resistance highs here. We have 11 o'clock, which means the NY Fed survey. Let's see. Sorry, news is coming out. And I'm yawning. In March, households were more downbeat on finances and credit access. Would you look at that? Should have been months ago. March expectation unemployment will rise to the highest since April 2020. Why is that? The survey found accelerating food and rent expected inflation in March. The share of households seeing a worse financial situation is the highest since October 2023. You know, it's really interesting to me because I feel like this is all way behind. Like when the market was on this perma-bid sort of tear, I really didn't believe in it. I really was like, how are people doing it? I thought it was far, like, if anything, I feel like people should be adjusted to the current climate now. Like, it was a shock a year ago, 8 months ago, more actually, year and a half ago. It's far worse. And now, everyone's like losing their mind. I don't understand. So, I don't know. That one's a little weird to me. But clearly the market's using it as an excuse to run lower. So we are going to sit on our hands for now. Like I said, so we basically have a $200 loss limit here. 194 really, 194.62 of potential loss on the day before we get locked out. We may not even take another trade. If anything, I was looking to play a continuation trade off of the long. So I don't know. This short side is kind of throwing a monkey wrench into things, and I'm not quite sure where it wants to go. Still in that 15-minute gap. This here is just a midpoint of an impulse range. It's not the same midpoint you saw in TradingView. That midpoint is quarter of the new week opening gap, upper quarter. Oh, and if anybody is curious, since it's a new stream, I don't know if you're a returning viewer or not, Avanti, avnti.co, check it out. Really cool sweatshirts, stuff for the gym, nice cotton t-shirts. Just dropped a women's crop. If there's any women that are watching, or guys, if you want to buy your girlfriend something, women's crop is really nice. It's super soft, nothing but good things to say about it. If you like a really simple design, something clean, stands for forward progress, similar to like a Kaizen sort of movement. I would definitely check out the website and see if you like anything. It's really affordable stuff. So yeah, and that is mine. So shameless plug. That's my brand. If you like it, check it out. If not, if you're just here for trading, great. Sounds good too. And also, if you're new, if you hear the clicking, that's just me fidgeting with poker chips. I've been on this journey to learning how to shuffle poker chips, which I finally learned. So now it's like hard for me to stop. And then also it just keeps me busy in between trades, keeps me from doing anything dumb. So. So NQ back into the midnight opening price there, finding a little bit of support after sweeping some lows, some relatively equal lows. ES is ahead, not sweeping the same lows, so there's a tiny divergence there. Just kind of digging into the smaller time frames here to see if there's anything worth looking at. I would take one more drive. Like I did kind of like the change in state of delivery up above here. I would have taken one more drive lower. It's moving. Again, also for those that weren't here in the part one of the stream, we are looking for upside. And the target is those clear highs into the new day opening gap. There's that third drive lower, but I don't like it now that it's taken out some micro time frame highs. So if you look, there's the third drive, but I didn't like how we took out these equals here. In fact, it could have been a short, but I just wasn't paying attention, nor do I really care to trade the short side just yet. Sorry guys, very boring day today. Not much to really do. Talk about these poker chips. I ordered a sample kit off of Amazon. It's me and my buddies. We play poker every week. And also, like, I just couldn't shuffle these damn chips. So I was like, maybe it's the chips and not me. After seeing somebody else do a video and like, oh, like you need certain type of chips or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, why not order some ceramic chips or something. So long story short, I end up getting a box of these like sample chips, which are pretty cool. They're like slow play chips. I don't know if you can see it. These ones are like the heavy ones. They have all kinds of cool colors. They're really slippery is the one thing that like I don't know how much I like about it. It does kind of make them semi-easy to shuffle. They're a little bit more of a muted sound. And there's these other ceramic ones, which don't have a metal slug in them. They have a little bit cooler of a design. I really like this blue. And they sound a little bit lighter. They're definitely a lighter weight. That might be 10 grams or something. I also like the bright orange. It's a really nice, vibrant color. So we'll see. I'll bring them on poker night and see how everybody likes them. Because we've been playing with these like generic, the dice chips that I'm sure everybody has. And they're cool. I kind of actually like the dice chips after trying these other ones. I kind of like the lighter sound, like a little bit brighter of a sound. I kind of like that. And they seem to shuffle actually easier, which is ironic. I bought the other ones thinking that they'd shuffle better, but they kind of do, kind of don't. I don't know. I think it's probably just me. But yeah. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been up to. Becoming a poker chip connoisseur. And if anybody has any recommendations, like I know there's Paulsons and stuff, which are like a faux clay kind of chip. Yeah. It is fun to like fidget with them though. You know, shuffle them around. There's nothing more satisfying when you get like the perfect ruffle. It's just killing my wrist. Sometimes they just don't fall into line though. I feel like it's luck. They either fall perfectly or they don't. A little annoying, but whatever. Figure it out. I feel like these lighter ceramic ones are actually a little bit harder to shuffle than all the other ones. My wrist is just getting tired anyway. Build up those little muscles. Today's back day at the gym too, so I'm going to need my forearms. I just got some wrist wraps though. Those should help. They do help. It's not should, they do. So yeah, we're just kind of on this descent. I'm not really saying much about the market because I don't really have much to say about it. You know, we're going lower and there's nothing that I really want to do about it. We've just invalidated the SMT on NQ. Like that 1 minute that started that whole move. It's what got us long originally. Wouldn't really be a buyer there. especially after disrespecting the SMT. I think there are probably better spots to get long than at this bottom. This is like one of the rare moments where I'd actually favor a continuation trade rather than catching a reversal. And that's just because I'm skeptical about the location of where this reversal is coming from. Yeah. Yep. Straight down, shoved. Right around midnight. Let's see if there's a shortable opportunity for us here. This could be a breakaway gap right above midnight. I took a short there. I'm not really looking for it to run up into this gap. I guess I'll allow it, but I shorted now because I don't necessarily think it has to. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Why do you ask? Well, I like the fair value gap. I like how it took out these equal highs and then kind of crushed lower. I like this bottom on ES to get targeted. I mean, we're going lower. I think maybe ES will come try to test midnight again. Like it may want to go lower. I don't know why we wouldn't have just continued higher. I don't understand why we would make this sort of move just to come all the way back down here, then just to go higher. I also didn't like how NQ disrespected the original 1 minute SMT. So that to me is a red flag for upside. So any subsequent move higher to me, I believe, is just manipulation after you have some move like that on the SMT. Even though it created more SMT between ES and, NQ, I just don't. It's not really for me. So let's look at trading view. Still leaving that 1 minute gap alone, which is cool. The more it leaves it alone and kind of runs away aggressively, the more I'd rather it not move into it. I mean, obviously I'm going to be lenient because what do I know? But that's just kind of how I'm feeling about it. It's not quite such a drastic move away from it yet for me to be like, all right, definitely shouldn't go there. Obviously, if we start taking lows, I'm going to probably feel that way. It's also weird is that, so if you look on the NQ chart, we're actually bumping up against the midpoint. That I actually hate for my short here because that's like poor location to me. So if we really start to run away, I'm just going to break the stop at even just because of the location of where we're kind of getting stuffed. And again, I'm going to talk to Topstep about that just because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, they're trading view software. I don't know how much different the data can get from one provider to another. I wonder if it would be, all You know what? Let's check something real quick. I'm going to bring up NQ on where the YM is. Let's get rid of that. We're going to move this stop to even here, just while I take care of this. So let's go to the hourly. Let's paint this out. All right, well, it looks like it's just the MNQ contract that's differing here, so I guess that is what it is. Nice move lower. I'm going to start to aggressively trail this stop here. I like how we gave up the midpoint there. Let's see if ES finally wants to crack. I'm just going to play on the NQ weakness here. If ES finally cracks lower to take these lows into midnight, we could have a really decent short on our hands. Still just watching. Floating about 50 points in P&L. I like the kind of aggressive move down there. That's really good. I do like that. See if we want to take for this low. I like ES down into here. I'm going to jam the stop up all the way up into profit here and just see if we can catch the acceleration lower because I'm ready to take off the trade. It's about home run territory anyway. Waiting for ES to jam into midnight. Very nice. Really close to taking that low. Strong reaction off. Probably going to get stopped out here. Actually, you know, in theory, our stop's in a relatively safe spot. It may want to jab up and then take us out, but I think we're kind of good to go here to hold at least until ES rips into midnight. Getting ready to really move the stop down here. Lock in a little bit more. If we're going to collapse, we should just do so. ES into midnight, very nice. Let's just keep holding it here. Stop is locked in around 150, so I'm happy with that. See if we can get one final push down. I think we've taken that low. Yep, so we took down into that low. That's good. ES ran into midnight there. We'll take it off there. That's a good move. That's a great short. So we're just able to capitalize on some signatures that we understand. The devil on my shoulder was like, hold for 100 points, hold for 100 points, hold for the cloud, hold for the cloud. But I try not to be an absolute idiot. Yeah, that's okay. So that was just, again, we're not really short biased today, but push comes to shove, you kind of trade what's in front of you anyway. We just went over why I took it, but I'll take it again. I'll just do a quick explanation anyway. I like how we left this breakaway. This was sort of a balanced area. Yeah, balanced area over here. So I don't see it having to go into here, into this little gap. That is, ES actually took that high anyway. So that was the SMT that we needed. As NQ swept the high once more into the midnight open. We were short earlier. You know, we got short up into here. We were allowing it to go into here, but it was really based off of the fact that NQ had disrespected the SMT. Let's see, so from here to here, we disrespected the 1 minute leg SMT here. So at that point, I'm kind of looking to get short. There was no reason for us to come all the way back down, disrespect the SMT that started the up move that should have taken us up here. So once we did that, I was kind of like, all right, you know, short it is. And ES started to show some weakness, and you know, there were targets for ES to run into midnight open, and we had these kind of low resistance trend line lows here. And yeah, I mean, it's a Monday. We're probably going to chop around, so I kind of accepted the fact that we may just want to play around in that gap, use those low time frame signatures between the SMT and it getting disrespected. You know, that to me is the same as a change in state of delivery. You know, very similar. So yeah, you get short there, then you kind of use your context, and it ended up being actually a really great short. Didn't add into it just because we didn't have a lot of room to play with. Like I said, I set my daily loss limit here from the restart of the stream to become, you know, a $100 down day, if anything. So that gave us $200 to play with. With the market's current volatility, that's not a ton of room if you're trading, you know, multiple micro contracts. Obviously, if you're trading 1 minute, it's nothing. You'll be stopped out in about 2 seconds. So yeah, so that was that. I mean, it's as simple as that. Then we just kind of held for, we used other, you know, we used ES as our kind of North Star here. And as you can see, it was a great spot to kind of start to take things off, because there we go. We took out this low on NQ. We moved into midnight opening price on ES. We were using NQ as a basis, you know, a little bit of a help, you know, so that I could look at the 15-second chart and what it was relation. I still don't love how the micro contract is so different in terms of the weekly prices and the locations of that. Like, so yeah, I'm going to be careful of that going forward. But for now, that's going to be the end of the stream. We did over 10% again on the day, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found it insightful. If you have any questions, obviously, comment. You can find my Twitter, or if you want my Twitter, just comment and I'll give it to you. I'm not super active on Twitter, but I'm like, obviously I've been much more active on YouTube. I've been going live every day streaming the trades. So yeah, enjoy. Stay out of trouble today. I would not be really sizing into this type of day. It's a dangerous type of day. Doesn't make a whole lot of technical sense. The way the structure is being built, obviously, I think we're building very low resistance structure on the upside. So definitely, if you're short bias, be careful. If you're long biased, also be careful, because look at how crazy these runs are. Like, I would have never really anticipated us to drop as low as we did. I do think that these highs are obviously still in play. It's been wacky. So yeah, but again, Monday, building the weekly range. Let's give it a chance and back off a little bit and see what happens for tomorrow. And there's also not a lot of news up until like Wednesday, really, or Thursday. Core retail sales, I think, is either Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, I would just be kind of wary, be careful. There's been a lot of volatility. So yeah, we're going to lock out here. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day. See you later.